I'm using gray paper. I like starting out with gray toned paper when I'm doing charcoal drawings. It allows me to start out with our medium value, and then we're going to use a little trick to pull out the highlights. So without further ado, let's draw a black cat. I'm going to start out with willow charcoal. Willow charcoal is so great because it's very loose. It's almost like powder. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plot out the general shape of my kitty cat. Shapes that I see are a large, and I'm using the side of my charcoal by the way, a large overall it's almost like a long gumdrop. And I'm keeping it scribbly, okay? Look at this overall shape. It's almost like a dome, kind of flat on the bottom. We're gonna make the center of it dense. Keeping it loose on the outside. That's the body. You're probably thinking that's the body. How does that make sense? Well, I will show you. Hang tight. Here's the head, and I'm thinking of it as, well, it's got to connect to the body, so I'm going to kind of bring it down, and it's almost like in here is a U shape with like whiskers. And then up here is the top of the head. In there is where my eyes are gonna go. Somewhere in there. It's looking a little creepy. It's spooky, 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 spooky. It's a spooky black cat. I grew up with cats. They were mostly outdoor cats. I love cats, although I do consider myself more of a dog person. But I love cats that are like dogs, and truly, I love all animals. And they are like little angels to us that remind us that life is good. I have a question. Do you have a little cat friend? If so, what is your kitty cat's name? Put it in the comments. And are there my favorite cats over the years? Well, all of my cats, I'll list them off. Blackie, Bubbles. Those were my first two cats. I had my cat named Sheep, and he ran away. Or she. I think it was a girl. She ran away and broke my heart. I had a cat named Basil who was black, like this kitty cat, and he was a really mangy, magical, whimsical cat who also ran away right before I moved. It's almost like he knew, but then I saw that he got adopted. And then I had Mo, who was a Russian blue, and I think Basil was some type of Bengal mix. So I could be wrong. I can't remember. So those were the cats I've had over the years. So yeah. So we have two rounded triangles on either side. And they connect in to the head. Just like that. Let me make sure that my and then I'm just gonna color in the ears, but keep them nice and outlined. Alright, so I want to create some space in here and make it like the whiskers are coming out and like the cheek hairs are coming out further than the ears. The ears might be just a little bit pointy. Feel free to move your charcoal around. I'm gonna make the center of my kitty cat even darker. And just making sure the head feels connected to the body by reiterating some of those lines and drawing through our cat rather than outlining it. Okay. I am drawing some black around where I think the eyes are going to go, which I'm positioning them under the ears. And once I draw in the eyes, I'm realizing, okay, the ears might need to change. So it's all about getting the entire thing on there, and then you can adjust as you go, which is why I recommend willow charcoal in the beginning, because it's like a sketch before the sketch. Okay. What do you think of the fit? And I've got these boots. And yeah, I'm feeling good. So now I'm making sure that there is plenty of space in between the cat eyes, and I'm kind of brushing away the parts that don't belong, creating a somewhat circular but angled shape. Making sure I'm adjusting the other aspects of the drawing as I see fit. Just making the hair around the ears a little bit more prominent. Okay. Now the kitty cat's there. I love that. Okay. Now I'm going to draw an upside down triangle right here between the eyes and kind of below the eyes. And then a little mouth which is connected with a line and then two downward marks, and it's okay if it all blends. Remember, it's not supposed to be outlined, so if it kind of looks blobby right now, that's okay. We will refine and pull out some of those necessary shapes, just adding a little bit more texture in here. Making it scribbly, doing more line work here at the base of my kitty cat, so it's like almost like where more line work is, that's where the eye goes to where there's more line work, and it translates that as, oh, it's weightier down there. So at the base of the cat, that's where we want the weight to be, because that's where it's connecting to the ground. So let me actually turn on my scary fairy lamp. Alright, we're back. I have the light on because the light changes all day. We've got clouds coming in. It can't decide if it wants to be cloudy or sunny today. So also I was able to check how long I've been working on this, so we're doing great on time. If your painting, or sorry, if your drawing looks similar to this at this stage, you're on track, okay? Okay. And honestly, this might be cute too. Like, I love this light. It might need to be charged, actually. I'm gonna stay focused. And, oh, you know what's also cute? But I lied. I love this one in the frame. Okay. Booty. Okay. Let's keep going. The next step is to use compressed charcoal. Compressed will get you a darker look for intense shading. So, the first spot we're going to put it is right in here. This is going to be so good. There we go. And let's bring that darkness up to the mouth and add some of it in the face. Alright, let's add a little shadow this way and intensify the bottom portion of the nose. Now let's get something going on in the eyes. Right now it's a little creepy, so let's soften the outline, because we might redefine it a little bit. Right now he looks shocked. Okay, so let's draw a circle in a very loose circle. And now just kind of blending and playing around with it. So we've got our circle. Now let's draw a loose outline around that circle. It's okay if it's not perfect. Not everything has to be precise. This is a drawing with charcoal, so let's explore and celebrate the capabilities of charcoal. Alright, now I'm going to draw around 1 o'clock a little circle within the first circle. That's going to be where the highlight is, and then I'm going to fill in around it with black. This is our pupil. Very good. He's looking a little less scared. Awesome. Very good. Now let's connect the top of the eyelid to, like, just kind of connect it a little bit more. There's too much white space up there. There we go. And going in and reiterating. Alright, now let's do some stronger black up and down marks around the ears, around the mouth. It's almost like It's almost like drawing grass. And then we're blending it in, making the inside of the ears a lighter gray. Perfect. Let's make sure that the sides of the cheeks are kind of coming out very cat-like. And I'm going to take both hands and just kind of mess it up in here to make it feel like there's fluffy fur everywhere. This is looking so good. Alright. Remember I told you that I'm going to share a little trick with you? Here is the little trick. I'm going to use white charcoal to pull out the highlights and the shape and the definition of my cat. Of my cat. Of my cat. My beautiful black cat. What should I call her? Okay, if you have any ideas, let me know. The first thing I'm gonna do is really, really intensify this little highlight in the eyes. Already, it's looking better. And I might go back and forth between my black. What I'm going to do with my black is add more details. And what I'm doing with my white is adding more details. I'm doing more line work with the black. Though, I'm noticing in here, I need to create more space. It's almost like the ear was connected too much to the eye. So it's like I want it to look like the ear is a little higher up. I also want to outline the ear a little more, not too much. I'm keeping the outlines really loose. Let's get some more whiskers. Okay, so adding a little bit of definition to the nose. You're gonna really like how this makes it look. I'm gonna add this white line on the top of the nose. Oh, cute. And then 2 little dots on either side. Blend it in, make it look gray, and then highlight it again, allowing some of the gray to show through. I'm also going to highlight the inside. It's like the iris of the eye. I'm reiterating the iris because right now it feels so connected to everything else. That's what I love about going in with white, is you can redefine. And look, I'm gonna add a little bridge underneath the eye. A little bridge, just like that. That's cute. Very pretty. I'll add a little highlight here using the side of my charcoal, making sure that the rest of the drawing stays congruent. See how I'm reiterating like the top of the head without closing it in with outlines. Using the side of my charcoal to create some definition. And here's a little lip on the ear. I don't know how to say it. It's like a ridge. It's where the top of the ear comes in. Really nice. Yeah, using the side of my charcoal to just add some highlights here and there. Can't get too crazy with it or it won't look right. You've got to be strategic with it. That looks really cute. Adding different lightnesses in the eye just so the eyes feel more reflective. Adding a little bit of black in here, in between the eyes. That's good. And anywhere I feel like it needs to be shifted or softened, I'm just going in with my finger and messing it up a little, just enough to go back in and fix it. in here. I'm gonna make it feel a little more solid. Then I'm gonna go in with line work. And we want it to be, again, making sure the head feels connected to the body. I want to draw the ground behind him using the side of my charcoal, just so he doesn't feel like he's floating. Just using my charcoal as a way to create a space around the kitty cat. Doesn't that do so much already? Like, think of how much it does just to add a little corner in the back. And using the side of my charcoal to create even more texture, and then going in with the tip of it to scribble in a few places, just to make it interesting to look at and energetic. Not everything has to be super realistic. Look at my fingers. They're black like my soul. No, I'm kidding. But I think we're nearing the end of this drawing. Crazy how quick it came along. All right. What do you think? Maybe I'm gonna do a little more detail in here. I just want to make sure it looks like a kitty cat. That's our main goal. Maybe add a little bit more black on the top of the eye just so he doesn't look so scared. Blending it in a few places so he feels fluffy. I wonder if I just use this white charcoal as like a little... I don't know if that's too much. Probably not. You can barely see it. Now I'm going to take my eraser and break it up in here. It's a nice little hack just to make it feel dynamic, where it's not like you see part of it, you see all of it. I'm just carving out a little bit more shape around my black kitty cat, just so he feels totally realized, even though it's a very sketchy drawing. I want to make sure I have a few marks that are kind of coming at the viewer too, like some coming down, you know. That's good. All right. Honestly, I think we're done. This is so good. I say we're done and then I'm like, I think we're done for now. My tummy's growling. I think the kitty's so cute. What a great exercise to just loosen up. So, yeah, if you're still trying to get yourself to make something, doing something that you feel like you can knock it out in 30 minutes or 15 minutes, give yourself a time frame. Focus on it, commit to it, and then be done. It's a great way to warm up. And I hope you learned a thing or two about shading, form, line work, and overall how to draw using charcoal. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you sleep tight. Sleep tight. Sleep tight. And let me know your favorite part in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Mwah.